So this is the LEAP current user interface of the service, as you see already. The location Europe here as a title, and we have examples of those contained themes here on the landing page. As you see here, we have buildings, 2D and 3D buildings, 2D roads also in 3D in some cases. We have digital terrain model, digital surface model, temperature, wind speed, and sunshine. This is the current set of themes that we have been working with. And if we first go to see the APIs in a more detailed level, we can go to buildings, 2D API. So this is the OGC API features interface and shows the structure of the service interface quite in detail. So we go to collections, and in this path here on top of the page, you can see always in which level we go into that service interface. We go to see Finland, then we have buildings 2D collections Finland. This is the collection description page. And if we go to view the items, then we are on the items level of the service interface structure. For the mapping here on the web pages, we always use open layers as a mapping library. And in this case, we are mostly working with OpenStreetMap as a background map. So here we are able now to zoom in. The reddish color here shows that 2D buildings are available from all Finland. We can zoom in to a deeper level, and when we reach a certain level, those vector 2D buildings appear on the map. So now we have actual 2D buildings coming from the NLS Finland service in the background. We can select individual buildings and go to see their item level. So now here in the path above, you see we are in buildings 2D collections Finland items, and then on one single specific item level. And we show this now on top of a autophoto background, and we have the attributes here on the right hand side. And what is interesting here is that we now have those climate properties integrated into this building here: temperature, wind speed, and sunshine hours, taken from the climate related themes of the service. We also have forecast temperature, which comes from the dynamic service interface of the Finnish Meteorological Institute's service interface. So we also have current forecast temperature present here. So let's go then once more to back to collections level. And let's go to Netherlands, for example. We can go to few items. In a similar way, we can zoom in. So somewhere in Netherlands, let's go to Amsterdam. And when we go to deep enough level, we will be getting access to those 2D buildings again in a same kind of way. And here we are accessing 2D buildings dynamically from the country level service in Netherlands. In a similar way, we can go to see the item level information building shown on top of an autophoto and attributes here. So let's go still back to see, for example, Estonia as an example. go to Tallinn. We go to view items. We are already in Tallinn. And again, these buildings come from the national level service in Estonia. Let's then go to another API, for example, roads here. First, let's go to see roads in Norway. The same idea, just exactly same kind of approach. We can zoom into certain location, and when we are deep enough, we will get access to roads dataset. There might be some background service related problem here. Sometimes they do not work as expected. There might be something wrong with the Norwegian road service at the moment. No, it was a bit slow. So we got roads, in a similar way we can select individual roads and go to see their exact environment on top of the orthophoto and see the attributes. Okay, but the 3D buildings probably is the most interesting and important aspect here. So let's see, for example, 3D buildings from Tallinn. Again, let's go to Tallinn's old city, which is an interesting place and has many nice buildings, like for example here. So when we are close enough, we are able to select show 3D view, and then we are again accessing OGC API features interface, but this time it returns a city-JSON encoded 3D model of the area. And as you see, they have really nicely modeled searches, for example, here in Tallinn. So maybe we then go to see raster interface. For example, digital terrain model is available from all of the participating countries at the moment. We can go to see, for example, Netherlands, and view coverage. And we again, when we zoom in deep enough, we will be getting digital terrain model here. We can zoom in and see it in different levels of resolution. One rather new functionality that we have developed is this download mechanism here that you see on top of the map. So when you zoom in the map and you get different contents into the map view, you are always able to download the contents of the currently seen sub area in the map as a data set, either from as a raster content or as a vector data set. You can also always copy the current URL that accesses the content shown on the map from the user interface here. Okay, maybe we then go to see the new explore functionality. As you see here, now we have all the available themes displayed on the left hand side, so that we are able to select the theme that we would like to work with. And when we select, for example, buildings, we immediately see where we have 2D buildings available currently in the platform. If I select also roads, it will reduce the area because only from those countries we have both roads and buildings available. Digital terrain model again is a bit reduced, so we do not have complete coverage at the moment yet from all of the themes. So here in a similar way we can zoom in the map, and let's go here on the border area. So now we are deep enough to see the vector features that are coming from the, here we are on the Finnish side. We get 2D buildings displayed. If we cross the border river on the Norwegian side, we will be getting buildings from the Norwegian service, and an interesting point here is that we seem to have two buildings, building objects in most of the cases, and the reason is that for some reason that I don't really understand, Finland happens to have a representation of the buildings on the Norwegian side of the border also. But we can see that, for example, this building here, this comes from Finland, and for example, this comes from Finland. Let's say here, this is Norwegian building. I can see it from the ID, and the other one is the Finnish. So there is a bit different idea what is the exact geometry of the building. But in any case, you can see that we can cross the border and see objects coming from both countries that have data available. Unfortunately, Norway happens to have buildings available only from two rather limited locations at the moment. The other one is here in close to Oslo, where we can go to, for example, to Hønefoss, that they have provided as a place where they get access or provide access to the building data. Okay, so we can here access all the themes that we have available in this one single user interface. OpenStreetMap is used as a background map here, so that we can easily zoom in to every country. Maybe we then check some 3D buildings here. As you see, in the case of Finland, we have ongoing process in 3D building production. So we have 3D actual model, lot 2 level buildings available only from those separate areas in Finland. So let's go quickly to Tallinn once more. So we zoom into deep enough level, we are able to access again 3D view of Tallinn old city area. But more interesting is, of course, again, maybe the cross-border case. In case of 3D buildings, we can go to certain location between Netherlands and Germany. As I said, from Germany side, we have available data, 3D buildings data only on certain rather restricted locations, like here, for example, that we can go on this particular location between Netherlands and Germany. So this is the border here on this street, and we can show 3D view and get access to 3D buildings from the both sides of the border, which goes along this road here. Yes. Let's close the 3D view. Then maybe we could, okay, we haven't shown the climate data sets yet. If we take temperature, for example, you can see that we get temperature content, climate temperature properties available from all the participating countries here. Wind speed, a bit more limited coverage, and sunshine, even more limited coverage at the moment. Then maybe we go, let's select buildings, roads, and digital terrain model, and then we see that we have this kind of combination available from only rather limited areas. But if we then go to Finland, for example, in the capital area here, we will be getting first digital terrain model displayed. We go a bit deeper. We should be getting also those other features like roads. Roads. Roads and buildings displayed. Roads is again for some reason rather slow, but in any case here we see the combination of at least two themes at the moment. We can individually select their opacity here also to focus on the content that we are really interested. Now we got also roads. They are particularly slow at the moment for some reason. So we can individually select and set the opacity values of each of the themes to get an appropriate visualization that is suitable for our purposes. One point that I haven't pointed out here is that we have all the underneath country level services represented here as a selection, so that we can switch on and off particular countries inside each theme if we want from the display. So this is the Explorer view at the moment, and what else? In the main landing page, as I mentioned, we have this quite an introduction to the theme level content of the service, and from here we can go to explore data. Immediately we will get this selected theme opened and on in the Explorer, or we can go to see the API level user interface of each of the themes and continue seeing the contents here. Then we have some additional pages like examples of use cases, place for joining the network, and so here we can see all the available themes and how to query, some basic examples of how the queries are constructed on the API level.